So I think I'll get straight into it. This session today is going to be you doing a lot of work. Well, when I say a lot of work, a bit of work. So, okay, this month's training, power positioning. Would you like your niche to see you as their #1 option? Then you need a superpower, a secret source, a secret weapon, and a structure for defining yourself that almost no other architect has. The good news, I haven't. And I'll give it to you as we walk through the exercise this coming week. How your market sees you starts by how you define how you want to be seen, and then planting the symbols of power around yourself, positioning yourself as the most attractive option. So what we're going to do today is we're going to learn how to define your value, call out specifically the target market you want to attract, use your superpower, secret source, and secret weapon to dominate a high-value niche. This exercise takes you beyond good marketing. This is Apple level strategic thinking for giants. Just because you're small doesn't mean you need to be small-minded. All right, so this is a new exercise I've created recently. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this exercise, or a series of exercises. And this is positioning. It's how you want to be seen. So actually, did anyone type into the how do you guys want to be seen? How do you want to be seen? Right. Okay, so Francis Klein has typed into the questions window. Yeah, Francis Klein. And a realistic understanding of construction costs. I would like to be seen as a local architect that modernizes without losing the charm of historic houses, with a great attention to detail and a strong background in architectural history, and a realistic understanding of construction cost and good relationships with quality contractors. Okay, great. Right, Chris Toddy says, I create lasting impressions of vision and value. Okay, create lasting expressions of vision and value. That's how I want people to see me. Okay, great. Let's get into it. So I'm not seeing any other responses. Okay, so there are 3 different exercises that we're going to go through here. One is, I want you to define your category. So if you look at this here, we'll start on, what we're going to do is we're going to do step #1, which is gather your assets. I want you to define what your category is, what your superpower is. I'll explain what these are in a minute, what your secret weapon and secret source is, and what you want to be famous for. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create a value statement. Okay, a value statement. And then finally, if we get time, we'll go through and we'll do a positioning, a visual positioning tool. I'll show you how to do a visual positioning tool, which is something you might sketch on a napkin to show people where you fit on various criteria. So let's go through the questions. Let's gather your assets. Right, #1, we define, and I just want you to write these down. We define our category as, and then what you want to do on the dotted line is create a unique or narrowly defined category so that you can position yourself as #1. So for example, Lisa Bixler was doing aged care, converting people's homes into places that they could, forever home, living in place. And what she wanted to do, she wanted to be unique and come up with a completely different name. So we came up with the name Invisible Design, right? Invisible Design. We created our own category. And because no one else talks about invisible design, then she's #1. She's the #1 invisible designer in North America, right? This is no different to what Bruce Lee did when he was doing Kung Fu in Hong Kong and San Francisco. And what he was getting frustrated by the fact that every time he used to get in a lot of street fights, and every time he'd get in a street fight, the people weren't fighting by the same rules as they would fight in a Kung Fu competition. So he said Kung Fu is a little inflexible when you get into a street fight. It's not ideal. So he created his own martial art called Jeet Kune Do. Jeet Kune Do. And as soon as he created his own martial art and his own form, he becomes, the top of the pyramid, right? And so, as soon as he's top of the pyramid, he's number one in Jeet Kune Do, and he can call himself number one in Jeet Kune Do. So what we've done is had a lot of architects over the different years is create their own category so that they can really eliminate everybody else, sell that category as a unique category that's worthy of having. And if the person wants to buy into that category of design, there's only one place they can go to get it. So have a think about that. My superpower. This is the one thing that you can do that others in your profession admit is pretty special. So some of you are great at sketching. Some of you are great at, I mean, to say I'm great at design kind of is a wee bit generic saying, great at design. But if you have a superpower within that design, so maybe you're great at sketching, maybe you're great at bringing a project on time and on budget. Maybe you have your superpower is your ability to get everybody to work together, is your rapport skills, something like that, some sort of personal thing. My secret weapon. Do you have a tool or an asset that others do not have? Now, I know for Peter Tui, his secret weapon is his 3D technology that he has. And even though a lot of people have heard of it, not many architects have the full 3D kit, and he does. And he wins projects because he has a secret weapon. Now, maybe you have that, or maybe you have some sort of collaboration tool that, maybe some online software that interacts with the client and keeps everybody updated on what's going on. Builders, architects, clients, it's all one portal. Maybe that's a secret weapon. So that's more of it's a tool. It's an external thing you use as the secret weapon. The secret sauce. Do you have a method or formula for getting a result others don't have? Okay, so this, even if you don't have a process which is particularly unique, I would suggest you would come up with your own, Petri method, right? You come up with your method of getting the whole job done, and you call it the Toddy method or something like that. Ideally, it's something, you've got a story behind it that makes it special. So like Grandma's secret sauce, this is the recipe that Grandma cooked, and she only ever wrote it down once on a napkin. And we've saved that napkin and we've put it in a frame to protect it forever. This is Grandma's secret recipe. So it's your secret way of getting results that other people, the beauty of this one is if you give it a name and you do it slightly different to anyone else, then you have something which no one else can offer, and it's something you can talk about when you talk about why me.